Hey, this is the newest K10 update. It's been a little while since I've posted a video, but I've been doing a bunch of stuff on the back of the cab, getting it all ready. So right now I'm currently working on the application for the mirrors and for the side emblems right here. So what I'm doing is I went to the old doors and I simply lined up a piece of paper with this corner and I had it go along the top of the edge. And I then used the back of this little hammer to put the holes in it, and I'm gonna tape this down now to this door, and I will just kind of use some primer to spray it in. I'll drill them out. Well, I'll make sure the mirror fits first, then I'll drill them out, and then I'll mount the mirror and make sure it's all good. And for right here, we have the brand new side emblems that are very fancy looking. So those are gonna go right there. And then I have the mirrors and a bunch of boxes and stuff right there. So yeah, I'm just gonna tape that down and I'm gonna spray it, and I'm sure there are other ways to do this, but this is the easiest way I found to do it because it's exactly what they were from the factory, and I'm sure they varied a lot from the factory. There was just a guy at the factory going all in one day, and he didn't really care about it. So yeah, it'll be what it was when it was new. So now I have taken that little template off. I've got them painted. I'm gonna wait till they dry, then I'm gonna fit the mirror. Then I'm gonna take a Sharpie, and now I have the general area of it, and I know that this is where it's supposed to be. So I'll put the mirror on it, I'll color in a little bit more with a Sharpie, find the center point, pin it, and then I'll drill it out with, I believe that's a 1/2 inch, but I'm gonna measure it just in case. I don't wanna get it too far off or something. And I'm gonna repeat the same thing for that side. And for the side emblems, you can see I already kind of did it, but it doesn't show up as well as I'd like it to. So I think I'm gonna sand those off and redo it with a new piece of paper. So yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so I've done a little bit of changing with my plan. So these holes, or these paintings, when I would try and do them, they would just be a little bit too far off for me to really trust myself with where they were. So what I did is I went to the old door and I tore off all the Bondo that was covering up the holes. And I found that the mirror, when it's put together, the top of the mirror is right on the top of this edge right here. And I said, oh, okay, well, that's really easy then. I don't really have to measure anything there. So then I went to the front of the door to the front of the mirror, and it was about 2 1/8 of an inch. So I decided to put a piece of tape here, and this right here is 2 1/8. Well, it's actually more 2 1/4, but at the top it's 2 1/8. It's like right there. So because the door slants right here, it's kind of hard to get it perfect. So I just did it right at the top, and that way it transfers over to here the right way. So what I did was I put this tape on here, and then I put the mirror on this door, and then I know that that's the perfect location for it. So then I went to the center of all of the holes in it, and I started to drill just a tiny little bit just to set it. And now I have all of them right in the correct center. So now I can drill it out with the smaller drill bit, make sure it's all perfect, and then we'll go like 2 or 3 sizes up, and then it'll be 100% right in the good spot. And I also have the backing plates right here, which are kind of mandatory. If you don't have those, people will grab them or they'll dent the side of your truck really bad. I've seen that happen. That's actually how the old doors are. They're covered in Bondo, not just to cover the holes, but because it's all warped right here from the mirrors getting all nasty. And then you also have to have, not have to, but it's great to have, is these gaskets right here. That way it doesn't mar up the paint in case you want to change it from black to chrome. I did black stems with the chrome actual like mirror pieces, because the way I did this truck is these like center things right here are done in black, and then the chrome pieces right there are in chrome, obviously. So that way it matches kind of a black and chrome kind of match around. Another thing also that I got, this black and chrome that'll fit the whole style of it, is one of my neighbors gave me a set of these. I want to say they're early 60s, late 60s, early 70s KC off-roady lights, and I think those will be awesome. I don't want to do the thing where people put the like triangulated thing in the back of the bed. I think what I actually want to do is make a custom little roof rack for it, and then I'll have the 4 going across the front of the truck instead of a light bar. I was going to do a light bar, but that just really isn't error correct for it, and I thought these will look a lot cooler anyways. So yeah, and then I'm thinking about that. What I'm going to do is I've already done a bunch of CNC work for like the grommets and stuff for those. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use these 2 original bolt holes right here, and I'm gonna make a mount for a couple of like boat style switches, like they're just toggle switches. So I'll have one for lights, interior lights, probably one to shut off the tail lights, and a fuel pump most likely. So yeah, because I have the EFI thing all set up in there. It's not quite done yet, but it's like 95% done. So yeah, I'll just have them all set right into here, and then everything will be inside the truck for all the road lights and stuff. But let's get back on task with drilling these holes. Okay, so now I've got my holes drilled. They are perfect. The top of the mirror goes right up to the top of this edge. It looks really good. They're all centered. Now I'm just gonna drill them out a little bit larger so that these screws that I got can go through, because they don't need to thread into the actual sheet metal because I have the backing plates, which makes it a lot better. So yeah, I'm gonna up the size a little bit, and I'll drill them out, test fit them, and we'll see how it looks. Okay, so I've got it all good. I've got it all drilled out. I currently have the backing plate in there, 3 screws in here. I'm not going to do anything more because I don't want to risk putting any little chips or scratches on the edge of this, and I especially don't want to press these little rubber gaskets, because once you do it, they're kind of ruined unless you leave them how they are. So I've got these 3 screws in. This is all good. I'm going to move on to the other side. No reason to talk about that. It's going to be the same exact way. Then after that, I'm going to clean up this mess right here, and I'm going to paint it and gonna get the side items on. Okay, so I have this side all bolted in. So now I have both mirrors done, which is one of the main things I wanted to get done today. But another thing is I wanted to get these side emblems mounted. So as you can see, I went to my old fender and I put the corner of the paper here, got it lined up at the top of it, and then I made sure that the 2 pieces of paper, as they went down, they were just barely there. It just has a little bit of lean to it because of the way the fender's built, but that's as close as I could get it from what it was originally. And then I'm gonna paint these, and I'll take the paper off, let it dry a little bit. I'll make sure the emblem fits first, because you don't want to do it and then have the emblem be crooked or have to oval out a hole to get it to fit the rest of the way. So yeah, one thing I'm doing though is I'm gonna make sure that these holes are perfectly straight so that the emblem is flat, because the emblem is a very short emblem. So the problem that could happen is it'll look like it's tilted back or forward. So I'm just gonna make sure, I'm gonna line the long piece to make sure it's perfect before I do anything. Okay, so we're back actually a couple of days later. You notice the bed is off, and that's primer. So I got the emblem on this side, all good. It looks, I don't know what the hell that was. Okay, that scared the crap out of me. So I've got the emblem right there, all mounted real good. Come over to this side with it. I have 2 emblems, I just don't want to unpackage the other one yet. And put it in. And we see that it's looking pretty good. So yeah, I got both side emblems, the holes drilled, and the mirrors done. So yeah, that just about sums it up for this episode. Oh, and I also have this front badge somewhere around here. I'll show that later, more during the assembly part. But I also have the front one, so I have all of them on the side. And yeah, that about ends it up.